We are approaching August, and it's been about 2 months now, we could say, since we last saw anything new for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's not a big deal, of course, but I have been thinking, right? Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis has a fall 2023 release date slated. Now, the most recent date that we know of that is kind of like a placeholder is the Apple App Store. The iOS store actually has a date that said September 30th, 2023, which we don't know if that's the date for sure. Maybe it could be coming sometime in September. Who knows? But what we do know is that apparently, according to Square Enix's words from RPG site, they interviewed them, we will be getting the full Final Fantasy VII game released with Ever Crisis. That's the full entire 10 chapters on its release. And if that is coming in September, then that means we very well could be seeing and will be seeing what Vincent, Cid, and Cait Sith looks like in Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. But not only that, the Ever Crisis assets are essentially pulling from what Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth look like. So we will be getting early looks at what their designs are going to be like, which is really cool and amazing to think about. We're actually going to be chatting with Baby Seal on the channel, talking about Ever Crisis, other Final Fantasy VII stuff. So if you guys are excited for that, be sure to check the link in the description below, and also pinned in the comments, I'll be posting a link of our stream. We'll be live talking about all your favorite stuff and also taking in questions too. It's just gonna be like a chill stream, nothing too formal, just us having a chance to really have a conversation, because we haven't really talked since Final Fantasy 16 came out, and it's been a while already. And for all the Final Fantasy goodies that you don't want to miss out on, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay in the loop and help raise that 19% even higher. Now, with that being said, let's get into the video. It's a no-brainer that right now on Famitsu's most wanted chart, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is ranking pretty high. Honestly, almost 200 above the second place one, which is Super Mario RPG, which is also a very highly anticipated one. I can't wait for that game to come out. That's such a surprise to see. But Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a very anticipated title. A lot of people are excited and cannot wait for it. Now, if we go back to the Final Fantasy VII article that RPG site did back on June 10th, right here, talking about Ever Crisis, you can scroll down and it says, first things first, we managed to confirm with PR a few key pieces of information about the upcoming title Ever Crisis, notably what content from the anthology will be available on launch, and whether the game would feature a stamina system. We do know about the stamina system. Stamina system is the lightning bolt mechanic that lets you multiply the use of stamina to increase your rewards and XP earned. They were able to confirm that the original Final Fantasy VII story content will be available in its entirety at launch, which is 10 chapters, pretty long, because we did the 2 chapters in the Ever Crisis beta. I want to say it was about 3 to 4 hours long. So the full 10 chapters is going to be pretty exciting to see and go through. That also will not require you to utilize stamina in order to play through the story. We saw that in the beta. The stamina was just meant for like side content, missions in general, and also online multiplayer. To increase your rewards as well, that was a possibility by using the stamina. And you can refill it too with currency or stamina potions that they give you, which was limited, and you know, it's a little bit of a concern of mine. I don't really like that, but it is what it is. Now remember, that was June 10th that they said that. They actually had a new article that came out a few weeks ago that I totally missed on June 11th, and they basically were updating what the entire system of Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is looking like. So we scroll down a little bit, because this article is just talking about the beta impressions and all that stuff. Nomura actually commented that Chapter 3 will cover the escape from Midgar, and that the entire Final Fantasy VII story will span 10 chapters in Ever Crisis. Before we get into the second part, I just noticed this. He said that Chapter 3 will cover the escape from Midgar. So assuming at the end of Chapter 3, we will be fighting Motorball beyond the Midgar Highway Expressway, leaving and going into the overworld of Final Fantasy VII. That means Chapter 1, which we already played, that one ends when you get to the church and you meet up with Aerith. So yeah, looking at it right now, Chapter 2 actually ended right after the Reno fight and the plate fall segment of the OG game. So this means Chapter 3 is going to be consisting of the Shinra Tower, well, going to Aerith's house to meet up with Marlene. Shinra Tower will be covered in that entirety, and we'll also be able to escape from that. So that actually makes a lot of sense. That's a lot from 3 chapters alone. And like I said, the chapters were very long. And that the entire FF7 story will span 10 chapters in Ever Crisis. Now, from what we know from what we played, it's not a bar for bar recreation of the OG story. Some things are abridged and cut and explained in a different way. And you're honestly going to be zooming through this story much faster than you would playing the original game, of course. Think of it more of like cliff notes. But they also double down and reiterate again, according to what Square Enix PR told James last month. That's the person who recorded the previous article. The original Final Fantasy story content will be available in its entirety at launch. So with that being the case, and there being no restrictions on us accessing the story, you can only assume that in September, whenever Crisis releases, or whenever it does release in the fall 2023, we will be able to control Cid, Cait Sith, and Vincent, and also obviously get a good look at what they play like, sound like, and what their design is like. Unfortunately, there are no English voices in Ever Crisis, and I don't think there will be. It's been Japanese voices, and they've been reusing the Japanese voices for the previous games as well. So that might be the case, and we'll be hearing the Japanese Advent Children voices for those characters. Obviously, Reno was different because Reno's voice actor unfortunately passed away 2 years ago, I believe. And not only that, what's also exciting about Ever Crisis is that we're able to see what certain attacks and moves are going to be looking like in Rebirth. So for right here, we have Cloud. This is obviously the Final Fantasy VII Remake asset of Cloud using cross slash. We've seen that many times over in the game, and that pretty much will be looking it'll be looking the same in Rebirth. But Red 13, we get to see what Sledfang looks like. Right, you saw that animation play out there. If we go to the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer, we can kind of see him do that same attack right here with him and Barret. Right there. Although it wasn't his limit break. It could be one of those situations where Sledfang, so like with Cloud, right, Braver, which was his limit break in the original game, his first limit break in Cross Slash was the second one that you unlocked. They turned Braver into an ability. Could be that Sledfang could be experiencing the same thing here with Red 13. But yeah, you see he jumps up, he does a spin, and he even like hits the ground and does a little bounce back right there. And gets destroyed by that mithril monster. And we're going to see more of the limit breaks and stuff, of course, as time goes on and we get more access to different trailers and other footage. But that's what I'm saying. I think very soon we could very well expect to see maybe mid or late August, early September, more footage and access of what Final Fantasy VII Rebirth looks like. Either a new trailer, some more breakdowns, a full gameplay segment, fingers crossed. That would be really exciting to see. Oh, the Japanese trailer, if you look in the background here, you could actually see Barret chilling in the back here, also shooting at the enemy, so providing some support in the same fight that he was in previously. Because if you scroll back a little bit right here, in this fight, it's Red 13, Cloud, and Barret, with Tifa and Aerith in the background somewhere. I know in the English trailer you can see them in the background here. Let's go frame by frame real quick, just because I'm curious. Yeah, you don't really see them there, but then they jump into this moment right here. But in the English trailer, you can see them in the background clear as day. Exciting times are ahead of us, guys. I really don't think they're going to be revealing and unveiling what Cid and Vincent and Cait Sith essentially look like in Ever Crisis before we get a look at what they could look like in Rebirth. I feel like that would be kind of silly, if you ask me. And I'm sure a lot of you guys in the comments would agree too. I'd rather see how they look in Rebirth, you know. I mean, I guess it doesn't make a difference, but it would just be way more satisfying to see another trailer update, because this was obviously showing us like the ins and outs of like various details of the world and exactly what we can expect going forward. Gamescom is a possibility. I mean, Gamescom is August 23rd to August 27th, and then you also have Tokyo Game Show, which is a little bit later in September, the 21st to the 24th, which is another possibility to see that. But the exciting thing about all this is based off of Square Enix's words to their PR team, words to RPG site, it does seem like the full Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis story will be available, and that obviously means all of the characters will be playable. So that means if Ever Crisis does come out in September, maybe early or mid to late September, whenever that is, hopefully August, because it does say fall, we can get an early look at what the rest of the party will appear and play like, which is exciting. I can't wait. Hopefully, you know, fingers crossed. But honestly, these next few months are going to be very intense, because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth does have a release date of early 2024. So there's only so many slots left open for them to promote stuff. So fingers are crossed we get some more details and more goodies coming up And of course, I will have you guys locked and covered on all of that, especially Ever Crisis when that drops, because I've been craving it ever since the beta dropped. Ever since the beta left us, man. Ever Crisis has been absolutely a joy for me, and I've been enjoying it. And tonight we're actually gonna be chatting with Baby Seal on the channel, talking about Ever Crisis, other Final Fantasy 7 stuff. So if you guys are excited for that, be sure to check the link in the description below, and also pinned in the comments I'll be posting a link of our stream. We'll be live talking about all your favorite stuff, and also taking in questions too. It's just gonna be like a chill stream, nothing too formal, just us having a chance to really have a conversation, because we haven't really talked since Final Fantasy 16 came out, and it's been a while already. But I'm excited to hear what you guys think. Comment below, let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way, and you do not want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.